Have you ever wondered how to run Facebook ads that were so compelling that someone who came across that Facebook ad or Instagram ad wanted to start martial arts classes today? Well, I'm going to teach you the secrets that I've used behind the scenes to generate millions of dollars of revenue teaching martial arts. Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer Waters and I am the Sales and Systems Sensei. Glad to have you here. I actually help martial arts school owners scale their dojos to 7 figures using our dojo scaling method, as well as a trained dojo assistant. Now, in this video, we're gonna dive deep into the secrets that I've utilized on how to run Facebook ads after spending well over $120,000 in 1 year on Facebook and Instagram ads. And I did all of this while continuing to generate revenue for my flagship martial arts school. In fact, at 23 years old, I generated over 7 figures in revenue just from teaching martial arts alone out of one location. So we're gonna take a deep dive into some of the systems that we utilize on a regular basis. And I'm gonna break apart the 3 things that you need to really consider as you run Facebook and Instagram ads. So the very first thing that I want you to consider is your budget. Now, a lot of people think about, okay, I need to spend a certain amount of money. How much money do I need to spend? How much is a good cost per lead? You might have heard that thrown around a lot in the industry. And really the answer to this question is 2 parts. The first part is how much of your gross revenue should you be allocating towards your marketing budget? And the second part of the question is how much does it actually cost you to acquire a customer? The reality is that you need to have both pieces of this equation, and you need to know both pieces of this equation to be profitable, because you can spend a lot of money on Facebook advertising and still not be profitable. And you can acquire customers but be spending too much on cost per lead and still not be profitable. So you need to know both halves of the equation. We're gonna focus on the easier half of the equation to figure out first, and that is how much of your gross revenue should you be allocating towards Facebook ads or towards Instagram advertising or marketing in general. And the reality is this: when I speak to clients and martial arts school owners, most of the time they've been fed some type of brainwashing from marketing agencies inside the industry and outside the industry that say the only thing that you should be concerned with is a $1,000 retainer or $1,500 retainer, and this will get you all the results that you need to grow your school. When in fact, there's several other factors that are missing. The first piece is, let's say you're doing $10,000 of revenue per month in your martial arts school. And that may seem like a really high number. It may seem like a ridiculously low number. I'm just choosing the number because it's easy math. So the first thing is, let's say you want to allocate 10%, which means if I'm allocating 10% of my gross revenue per month towards ads, I'm going to spend $1,000 in advertising. Now that's not including the service to manage that. If you're paying a marketing agency or you're doing it yourself, that's cool. But it's not including your time. It's literally how much money you're actually spending on advertisement. So $1,000 in ads paid to Facebook or whomever to service and to get you those ad dollars to work. Now that's gonna get you steady growth. Slow, but steady. But let's say you wanna crank it up. You wanna turn that volume up. You should be going all the way up to 15% of your gross revenue. So if you're spending $1,000 and that's 10% of the gross revenue that you are receiving every month, and you want aggressive growth, you want more students right away because you need to get scaling, you need to get moving in your business, then you should allocate all the way up to 15%. Now here's the real interesting thing. A lot of martial arts schools just believe it's a dollar amount and not a percentage. So instead, when they get higher amounts of revenue, let's say $20,000, instead of upping the amount of revenue that they're spending out, and instead of going, okay, I'm generating $20,000 of revenue, I need at least $2,000 to go towards ads, they're still using the $1,000 ad spend and wondering why they're not growing. It's because they're not feeding the machine enough money to get the results that they need. So budget is a huge part of what you have to do in order to actually grow through Facebook ads. Now that other part that I was talking about, which was your cost of acquisition, that's very crucial as well, and we'll be covering that in a different video. And if we have that video up by the time that this one posts, we'll have the link down in the description. But the next thing that we want to think about is what is it that we're promoting? And I'm going to tell you that the number one mistake that I see martial arts school owners make is that they try to promote several different styles or programs on their Facebook ads or Instagram ads. So they might have one promotion running for adult fitness kickboxing, another promotion running for kids martial arts classes, and another promotion running for something else that they have running out of their martial arts school, like a Kali class or something like that. And the problem is that they're taking that $1,000 revenue, let's say if they're generating 1,000 or 2,000, whatever, and they're trying to split it between all these different styles. You should never split your advertising until you have gone all in on one style, one program, until you've reached 7 figures. That's my firm belief. Disprove me if you want in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts, but I have been able to tell you that the people that focus on, if you're a kids martial arts school, focus on kids. If you're an adult martial arts school, then you got to focus on adults. And when you do, you'll get results and you'll get them a whole lot faster than if you dabble a little bit in this and you dabble a little bit in that. Just choose one. Choose one and commit to it. And when you do, with your solidarity and your commitment, you can then actually reach your goals faster. It's so incredible how this happens. Now, the last thing is, when you're considering how to run Facebook ads, you also want to consider your method of acquiring the information from that person on the other end of your Facebook ad. So are you going to use a landing page, a lead form ad, or a messenger ad? My recommendation is that you skip the landing page because you're taking someone off platform. And anytime you take someone off the Facebook platform or Instagram platform, they have to open another window. Then you have to start thinking about other things like, does the page that they're landing on actually, is it congruent with the Facebook ad that they saw or the Instagram ad? Does it load fast? Because I can tell you that if I click on something and it goes to open a page and I don't get a fast load response, like within a second, so we're talking a half second to a second, if it's not loading, I'm on to something else. Remember what we're doing and who we're talking to. Someone just happened to be scrolling through their Facebook feed or their Instagram feed because they were bored, because they didn't want to be present, they wanted to be entertained, and you interrupted them. They had the thought, this might be beneficial for my kid. Let me click on it. As soon as they go off platform, you've lost that thought. Now they're like, nah, that's okay. They have the second thought, the thought that comes behind the first one. So keeping them on platform makes life so much simpler and faster. If I go ahead and I keep them on the Facebook lead form, it's going to ask them to go ahead and click the next step. They do that, submit information, and if you have it set up properly, like how we do for our clients, you'll actually have them book a lesson right then and there, or at least have the option to book a lesson right then and there. Same thing with Messenger. If they're sending you a message, then you need to have someone on the other end of that Messenger ad being able to respond right away to those messages that are coming in. And finally, that brings me to my last piece. If you're collecting all this information, what are you going to do with it? So make sure you check out the next video in the series, and you can simply subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss it. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss how to actually craft the perfect Facebook ad, which we'll be talking about in the next video. Until then, keep being awesome, my friends.